pouring in my cup. In the session, real loud, good gas, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up. Get lit one night, after that, we can go in.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon E, and we here on 95 South Podcast. Once again, I want to thank God for this opportunity, first and foremost, to give us this platform to be able to come on here with great people, great content, and to be able to just to bring y'all the best show we possibly can bring y'all. I'd be remiss if I don't introduce my dog, my brother from the other mother, Mr. Midnight Love Voice, Mr. Make It Do What It Do. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Jacob, the great Mr. Personality himself? What's good, partner?
What's happening, man? You know what we do, man. We just bring you the best of the best. And we got the best of the best tonight. So I'm honored, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, man. And I know, after this interview, my inbox is gonna go crazy. Jacob, I didn't know you know them. But you know, that's a whole nother story.
Well,
Yes, sir.
See people, man. I'm gonna let you do the introduction, and we're gonna get into it.
Okay, first, man, we have Mr. Maurice E. Jones, Chicago native, film producer, DJ, radio personality. What don't he do? Welcome, brother. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate you having us on.
Okay. And next we have, his right hand person, his boss lady, Dr. Shan. What's going on with you?
What's up? How y'all doing?
How you doing? And she does it all, from being a singer to an actress to a model, to a creative writer, to a artist development coach, to an acting coach, and to the boss lady. But most of all, she's a woman of God. So I'd like to welcome her on.
Thank you.
And next we have Michael D. Hammond. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on with you? How you feeling?
Pretty good. West Side Chicago native. Been in the acting scene for 15 years. You've seen him on, various movies. One of our favorite. He's all over the Power Edition. But he's made a substantial stance in the film industry, and he's definitely here to stay. And it's a pleasure to have you on board. And I just want to thank God for all of you being here, so we can get into this topic, man. Understanding the film industry. Because I hear a lot of people that's inspiring actors and actresses, and they want to get into the film industry, but do they understand the sacrifice and what it takes to get into the film industry? So we got it today from a film producer standpoint. We got it from a screenwriter, script writer standpoint, and we got it from a actor standpoint when you working live on the set, for a set that's going to be on television and you're going to have 30, 40 million people watching. So, I'll let Brother Maurice go first. Understanding the film industry. What would you say about that, Maurice?
I don't understand it.
Okay. But for the inspiring young ones that want to get in, they want to get in, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, this is what they want to do. They already got their mind made up. What advice would you give to them? Definitely
get some training. You definitely want to get training. And one reason for that is once you audition, you got to know how to audition. You got to know how to do monologues. You got to know what professional headshots are. It's a lot of things that come with it, and training will help tremendously. Because a lot of times we ask for headshots, and people take a selfie on their phone and we'll just bypass it. You know, they just take a selfie on their phone in the parking lot at Jules and send it to you. You know, babies in the background and all type of stuff going on. So it's definitely needed for the training, and it also helps you to understand better when you're on set how a production is supposed to go, and it helps the flow of things.
So monologue. Let's pause for a minute. Are we talking about a 180? Are we talking about a 360? And if you could explain both of them, why you're, engaging on the monologue.
Well, the reason for me engaging on a monologue is very important. This is the way certain producers get to see your talent, to get to know if you have the look that they're looking for. So that's very important, and it's definitely important to have a clear background and a great shot of you. Now, as far as the 180 and 360, it just depends. It depends on a producer, what they're looking for. And I say it's best to learn both, because I may be looking for 180, but Michael David Hammond might want a 360.
Right.
So training helps you to learn and to understand what they are and why they are so valuable, because you'll be overlooked.
Right. Okay. And so, Maurice, the reason why I asked you that, just want to enlighten you that I'm a student first.
All right.
I'm a student first. So, when it comes to that business, I'm a music guy, but at the same time, I do have $1 million voice in Hollywood features. So,
I know that's right.
you know what I'm talking about. So, but next, let's have some fun, man. Let's have some fun, man. You know what I'm talking about. But next we have Dr. Chandra. So I want to ask you, Doc, how does one learn how to be a screenwriter, a script writer, a creative writer? How does one have to learn how to own that craft when it comes to the film industry?
One, I would say just dive in. Dive in. If that's what your passion is, just dive in and then do your research. You got to learn what they're looking for, what Hollywood is looking for, what everyone is looking for, because there are different types of specs that you have to follow, different types of programs that you have to use that Hollywood is looking for. For instance, you can't just go in there and write a script using, I'm just going to call it Celtic, when Hollywood wants you to use Final Draft. If you didn't know that, then you'll be submitting your stuff all in a Celtic program and they'll bypass you. It's simple stuff just like that will get you tossed in file 13, which is the garbage. But in order to know that, you got to do your research. If you are really serious about your craft and want to know and want to really get into it, you're going to do your research. You're going to make sure that you know everything. There has been times where I've gotten got by different people in the industry, but you know what? I'm thankful for every negative and every positive, because if I didn't know the negative, I wouldn't know what to do to find the positive, if you understand what I'm saying. So if you want to own your craft, you gonna do the research. If you're not serious, you don't care, and you just gonna present whatever, if that makes sense. So I would say do your research, dive in, yes, because if you're excited about something, you're hyped up. Like I said to Icon today, I'm hyped up about all of this. If I'm hyped up, I'm ready to dive in. I'm ready to go. So with me diving in at the same time, I know that I got to slow down a little bit and just like, okay, wait a minute. Let me see what they're looking for too at the same time. I may be hyped and want to do all of this and that, but I also want to be received. In order to be received, I got to know what they're looking for. So if I'm serious, I'm going to do my homework. I'm not just going to present anything, because anything that I do, I'm going to do it in excellence. I'm going to make sure you're going to remember me, whatever I do.
I can dig that. I can dig that. That's what's up. You know, that's how when you say you gonna make sure people remember you, that's how people be like, oh wow, she's somebody that we need to push to be on the next level, or she's somebody who can help us get to the next level. So, you know, that's key. Leave a leave an
Mhm.
imprint in them, so they'll be like, "Ooh, man, how can I ever get up with her again?" You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I can dig that for sure, for sure. So, Mikey, man, listen, um, I expected you to have the Dob hat on, with the with the with the cigar in your mouth and the bodyguard sitting beside you,
You got
So,
me scared over here. I feel like if I walked
you
in the room with him, I might get come up missing.
know, you know, I've I feel like you was gonna say, "Hey, Jacob, go handle that." You know what I mean? So,
Right,
hey,
right.
hey, man, I love it though, man. But you as a actor, a production assistant, an acting coach, what are the most mistakes you've seen people make who don't listen to someone like you who's been in the business for a very long time, and once you try to teach them, they already think they know it all.
Mm.
Oh man, how long y'all show is?
Right. We're
Yeah.
gonna be in there.
But
You funny, man.
you know what? The main mistakes are when people hit me up and they like, look, Mike, I'm not booking the auditions. I'm not doing this. This I'm reading the lines. I memorize the lines, and I'm submitting the auditions. What am I doing wrong? And then I give them the advice. Look, you got to do A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying, to stand out from the majority.
Right.
Then they don't book the audition. Then they come back to me, man, I didn't even book it. Well, did you do what I said? Did you do the A, B, and C? Well, no. There you go. You know what I mean? But you get that a lot. You get that, and then you could be sitting there drilling somebody and showing them step by step, inch by inch, on what to do and how to play it out. And then they'll give you the yeah, I got you. And then do it the same way they've been doing it over and over and over on set. So what it just boils down to, a lot of it boils down to people having too much pride and what our mamas used to say, man, being hard headed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so with you, man, how did you know that you had the ick factor when it comes to being an actor and taking your career to the next level?
Um, Honestly, just booking the roles I've booked, and I did all that without having any acting classes under my belt.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's really amazing. I say salute to you, man, for real, for real.
No, I
And so,
appreciate
upon being on these huge sets and you getting these roles and whatnot, man, did it ever overwhelm you? Like this is happening pretty fast, with or did you remain calm and and just let it flow like it was flowing? Like how did you act mentally and emotionally?
so of course emotionally, because I love the craft so much and I love what I do, you get excited and you know what I'm saying, you get energized, but at the same time, the one thing you can't do is panic, because this business is fast. If I can describe this business, it's an untamable beast. You
Mm,
know, so you can't let everything get to you, or else you're gonna drown. You know what I'm saying? Every time you panic, go in this business, that's just punching another hole in your boat. And before long, you're gonna be drowned. You're gonna drown. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Man, that's that's a key word of advice, and I hope whoever's out here listening, man, and who want to break into the film industry, that you're listening to all the panel guests tonight. You know, cause they're dropping jewels, and they ain't charging you nothing. The next
No.
one gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. I promise you that. You know what I mean? It's gonna cost you. So I come back to you, man.
But first and foremost, man, I want to humbly say that I'm grateful that these three people have decided to join our network with their podcast. They could have went anywhere and did it anyway, and they decided to come to us. So that let me know the work that me and Jacob does is moving the needle and doing something, having an impact on the community and the people that's in it. So first, I want to start with you, Michael, because I have a curious question. As being a Latino man, how important is it for you in the roles you play? And the reason why I asked that question, because I know a lot of time in the Black community, and Maurice and the doctor over here, they can attest to this. We get caught up, oh, he in a dress, or they always in a gangster role, or they always in this role and that role, and we always want to judge each other on the type of roles that we see certain actors and actresses in. And so, in your community, what does that look like for you and the people that you notice that you may be in your community in your life?
Well, just to put, to kind of set it straight a bit, I'm mixed race, so I'm Black, white, and Puerto Rican, and to hold, what I'm saying, to be biracial is something of its own. You know what I mean? Because you got this stereotype, and then you got this stereotype. You get what I'm saying? And it bothers me a bit to where everyone gets typecast, especially me. I've been typecasted my whole career. I don't. It bothers me, but I don't let it get to me. You get what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for the typecast, I wouldn't have had a consistent career so far. So it's like, what I'm saying, it's kind of like biting into a lemon and then licking some sugar. You take the bitter with the sweet. So
Okay. So Maurice, man, you being a film director and was TV and film and whatever you got going on, how important what the message that you try to send in each project, how important is it for you to make sure that the message is being received in the way you're trying to put it out?
It's very important. I can give you an example. My first movie, Love Beat the Hell Out of Me. Once we finished shooting it, and we sold out the theater. It was a standing room. I think Shaft came out that day, and everybody just flooded the theater. I'm talking about we had to make all the guys get up for the women to sit down, and it was amazing. And there was another producer standing beside me, and he kept saying like, "Man, look at this. You can get excited. You can get excited." And I was like, yeah, to God be the glory. He's like, "No, you can get excited." And then I heard one lady say, "Oh, now I know how to get out of my domestic situation." And that's when I got excited. So it's very important for me as far as the messages. Like in everything I do, I put a little bit of me in it, a little bit of what I've seen, a little bit of what I read, a little bit, of what I know that somebody else was going through. Because I'm hoping that even though you're enjoying the movie, I'm hoping you're able to take something from it. And that's what means the most to me. So, it's more about getting that message out than anything for me.
Okay. And doctor, you being a powerful Black female that's a boss in this game, the impact that you have on young ladies in your community and across the world, across the country, how do you feel about that? How important do you feel like that is, that you show a strong woman, and I say Black woman, you know what I'm saying, just because of the fact that we need sisters like you. So how important is that for you to show Black women across the world what a boss looks like?
It's extremely important. It's very important because I believe in this industry, in the entertainment industry, there's a misconception about we as women, what we should portray and what we should be doing. A lot of women feel like they got to do, I'm going to say it like it is. They got to turn a trick or do some other creative things in order to make a mark in this industry, and they don't. All they got to do is just be themselves. And it takes a strong woman to tell them, hey, sis, you ain't got to do all of that. All you got to do is be yourself. And if this is what you want to do, be serious about your craft, know what you want to do, and know your worth, number one. And don't let anybody downplay who you are, and just do the doggone thing. You ain't got to do anything extra. If they don't want you for what your craft is and what you're worth, then that's not worth your time. Just because you don't get it based off of what they want, don't mean that you ain't gonna get it. You just go move around. Somebody else to choose you. You don't have to do creative things. We'll say it like that in order to make it. So me being a boss, and I appreciate you all saying that. You ain't got to do all of that. I want to just be a representation of a Black woman who's doing the thing and not having to do extras to make a mark in this craft and in this entertainment industry, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let me ask all three of y'all collectively, how all three of y'all, how did y'all meet?
Working. I'm gonna say this if I can go first.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so interesting. I'm gonna start with Mike. I met Mike working on set with Mike. I'm an actor as well, so me and Mike worked in the same project together. And then I was a newbie, and I asked Mike to be my acting coach.
Now, what project was that?
Infamous Ones.
Okay.
It was Infamous Ones. And I asked Mike to coach me. So right now, I mean, he's my bro, my friend, my dear friend. He's a part of my core, but I still seek him out for different things that I need in terms of, I'm one of them ones that say, hey, Mike, I ain't get it. What did I do wrong? I'm that one of those ones that will go to him and ask those questions. And I seek him out because he's been in the game so long. Don't get it twisted. It don't matter how old we are and different, but he is a boss at what he does. And I see that, and he is a great talent. So when I need something, I'm like, yo, hey, what do I need to do? How can you help me here? And we became friends. We developed a friendship from just that alone. So, and he's just been there ever since. And we've been knowing each other a couple of years now. With Maurice, I auditioned for him in one of his projects. And when I actually met Maurice, I didn't even know I was meeting him because I went to an audition for somebody that he knew. I ain't know Maurice. I wasn't even thinking about Maurice. I was going for something else. And then I saw him put something out there, and I went to a casting call. And Maurice was like, okay, I want to put you in my series. And from then, I was only supposed to do one little small project. And I end up being a partner with him just from that. And I'm going to say this too. I asked Maurice, could I help him and assist him? It wasn't nothing extra that I did. I said, hey, I see that you need help in this area. Let me help you. And he said, you want to do that? And I said, yeah, let me help you. Hey, can I come on set? I know I'm not filming today, but can I come on set and learn? That's how we connected, and we became bro and sis just from that. So that right there lets you know, no, I didn't do anything extra. My extra was, can I work? That's what it was. And that's how that's how I met Mike, and that's how I met Maurice.
Okay. And you know what's crazy you said it, because me and Maurice talked on the phone the other night for about 2 hours. And it was funny because he was supposed to come over to get the training for the podcast, and we spent the first hour and a half just talking about life and family and the whole thing. And I could just tell, like, just from that connection that he was a genuine brother, that he was real. You know what I mean? You don't find, and I've been in this game on and off for 25 years. You don't find a lot of like genuine people. Most people want something out of you. Most people trying to take money from you, take something from you, and you don't find people that's genuine. And even when we talked about my son and him helping him, the first thing he said was, "I don't want to hear nothing about nothing till he get everything official." And I said, "Okay, this is a real brother." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I attest to that. And then we got to be, it got to be something there because we got the same last name. So that makes it awesome automatic.
You're right. So all I wanted to do was learn. I was like, hey, can I learn from you? And both of these brothers are younger than me. And I was like, I just want to learn. And that's how that whole I call us family. That's how that family connection started. I just wanted to learn.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Jacob. I'll let you take it back over.
Well, I mean, I just want to piggyback on what she said when it comes to being a real boss. And, I know females look up to you, but, a certified boss, a female boss, she don't play games. So before the brothers get started, I know you already stop them in their tracks. So you ain't got to tell me that a lot of them ain't ready for the good doctor. So but what I can appreciate though is how you three are connected, and how you seen that Maurice need a helping hand, and you just asked him, and from asking him, you and him learned a lot from each other. Yes. You know what I mean? And now y'all inseparable, and so I just want to ask all three of y'all about the youth. When it comes to the youth of today, and they're growing up a lot different from when we grew up. So through the form of art, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's dance, whether it's public speaking, I feel like what you guys doing is a part of ministry. And so, how do you guys want to continue to change the narrative and take changing the narrative to a higher level?
My thing is first you have to see what the youth is interested in, and then push them to that. Because hell, I know like myself, Maurice, and probably everyone here, what I'm saying, I grew up in one of the worst fucking neighborhoods on the west side of Chicago. I don't know if we can cuss, but sorry about that. But
hey, it's free range talk, man. Talk.
Okay, no, I just I didn't want to go against any rules and nothing. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, like I grew up in one of the worst neighborhoods on the west side of Chicago. You know what I mean? And seeing everybody fall in line and be a statistic, you know what I'm saying? I myself didn't want to do that. So I worked hard and mentor the youth to show them, hey, look, just because your big brother and cousin on the corner slaying doesn't mean you got to follow in line too. You ain't got to follow suit. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. So just pushing them and pushing that narrative, like, look, I'm from the same street, and look what I'm doing. You can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. Reese?
Well, my thing is, I agree with Mike, and as far as finding out what the youth are into, then also I believe in by us, showing our characteristics and walking with value and doing things certain ways, being an example to show them, there is good that comes out the slums. I mean, I'm from the Inglewood area, also from the west side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not a side of Chicago I haven't stayed. And it's like, none of them been roses, none of them. And I always said I wanted to be a product from my environment, not a product of my environment. Just because I stayed there didn't mean that I had to stay in that state of mind. I didn't have to live that way. I had to decide what I wanted to do for me. So I decided I'm gonna pick up my camera. I'm gonna change the world with what I do, and that's how I look at it. What's gonna be my impact on this world? What legacy I'm leaving behind? How's people gonna remember me? I don't want them to remember me the way I was, but see who I am now and where I'm trying to grow to be. Let me be that example. And that's real important. Actually, that's when I say that, I'm saying that on behalf of everybody that's a part of our team. Because that's what connected us so tightly. We all, one vision. It's one body, one family, one vision. And it's uplifting. We uplift each other. We're trying to show example of what a family is. Family ain't always bloodline. You get what I'm saying? And what we do is we motivate each other. We encourage each other. I can give you an example. I remember Big Mike had just started dealing with me. He came to one of my premieres. And after the premiere, I walked up to Big Mike. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I walked up to Big Mike. I say, man, how you like it? Big Mike looked at me. He say, yeah, it was cool. And walked off. He walked off. So the average person would have took that in a bad way. I took it in a positive way. I said, okay, the next premiere, I'm going to see what he going to say. So I went back to the drawing board. I studied more, as the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. I studied more. I practiced more. So the next one, he was like, okay. So then we did another one. He said, that's it. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to be able to take constructive criticism and understand that, everybody saying no to you at that moment doesn't mean it's a definite no. It's just a no at that moment. You get what I'm saying? And you have to apply yourself. You have to work harder. You can't be set in your ways and forget him. He just jealous. He just mad. And no, he just said how he felt, but I'm gonna change the way he felt the next time I see him was my thought process.
All right. But when he gave you those 3 OKs like Lil Jon, I knew you heard the marching band or HBCU in your head. Man, you're like, okay, I'm on to something.
When he gave me the 3 OKs, I ain't been able to get rid of them. We together all the time. That's why I know I was there. And one thing I got to say this, Jacob, and I hope someone gets this. The whole time he was rocking with us, right? And I'm filming. You never saw Mike in none of my movies. And I've never asked Mike to be in my movies, right? A lot of people feel like, oh, he's on Power and that's Michael David Hammond and his skills. And like, I love all of that, right? But my thought process was, or what made him appreciate me so much was that I never asked him because at that time I didn't think I was there. So I'm not going to ask you, you worked so hard to get so far, and then I'm actually come back down here just so I can say I got Michael David Hammond in my film. No, what I decided to do was lift myself up there to where he is. And then guess what happens? He say, hey, Reese, I got to get in your movie. That was the best thing ever. You see what I'm saying? And I just want people to understand that because he tell people no and they get offended. And it's not that it's offensive, but he has a brand and he can't do everything.
Man, Maurice, listen, man. I can just say this. He wasn't in your movie before because it wasn't right timing, man. It ain't never in our time. It's in God's timing, man. Man, all you gotta do is wait, be patient, and let God, man. Just if you allow him to guide your footsteps, God gonna put you in the right places, man. He gonna put you with the right people. And that's what people fail to realize. You rush the process. The process gonna end up in heartbreak, and it might cause you to fail, man, and fail in a way where you get depressed, you get anxiety, and where you just lose that talent that everybody knew you had because you just don't have the will to work no more. And so, man, that's all in God's timing, man. So just be thankful that you allow God to guide your footsteps, man. And that's a blessing, and that's obedience. So I can appreciate that. So, Dr. Sean, what do you think?
Before you move on, I'm gonna say this.
Uh-huh.
And you went by, and Maurice, you went by it the right way, because so many times in our communities, our people want us to dummy ourselves down to where they're at, not understanding it's better if we pull you up versus you pulling us down. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't get anywhere if we got to keep going back, like putting ourselves in position to like discredit our brand. So you understood Michael's brand, and you was like, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm gonna ask him to do something for me, and he might have done it out of friendship, out of love, whatever. But at the same time, how would that benefit really either one of y'all? You know what I'm saying? If you had a bad movie and you put him in a bad movie, now you messing up, making his career look crazy and your film looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you when it comes to all that. But yeah,
I appreciate it. And I also wanted to say it was out of respect of the hard work he put in. I respect his grind, so that made, and to show my respect was, I'm gonna have to level up. I'm not gonna ask him to level down, so
Right.
That's my brother.
That's a blessing. So, Dr. Sean, you have a lot of resources and you've accomplished a lot. And, I know a lot of people look up to you, in the whole community, the church community, through family structure, and just how you are to people. Cause a lot of people, man, I used to I used to live in Washington D.C. for years, and I used to have some homies that was in them streets, and they used to be like, "Man, what's up with you?" I'd be like, "Nothing, man." I was like, "Boy, if you can be out there doing this, you can create an LLC and do it legal."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Peace and blessings. I love y'all." And so they just used to look at me like, "He's strange, man. Like he don't even try to get into nah, bro. I ain't getting into your business, man. I'm just gonna tell you what God loves, and that's the truth, and I'm gonna keep it moving." And so I say that to say this: all of you have overcome so many obstacles. Y'all made the impossible possible. And I feel like the youth right now don't believe that they can make the impossible possible. And that's why, you know, um, you got I be listening to these parents who I seen one parent on TikTok, she lost all three of her kids to fentanyl. Man, this is ridiculous, man. And so I feel like through the music and film and arts industry, man, like we can all change the narrative to save lives and get kids off the streets. And so, Dr. Sean, when it comes to you and you being a youth minister as well, like what are some programs that you have set in place that's helping you change the narrative along with what you do with music, film, and dance and arts?
Well, right now, what I'm working on with my other business partner that is not on here, what we're doing right now, we're formulating a curriculum where we're going into the schools and we are developing something with social, emotional, and restorative practices using improvisation and teaching our children with different tactics, discussing bullying, harassment, or whatever the situations are, addressing those issues and acting them out, letting our children acting them out using the arts. So those are some of the programs that we are using in school. And as a youth pastor, I do the typical things as a youth pastor with dance and, of course, teaching them and study as well. But right now, going into the school system, using the arts as a way of getting to the children and channeling different things, that the children, are dealing with. Our children today are dealing with so much that we didn't even have to deal with when we were younger. They're dealing with stuff that we dealt with when we were in college and high school. They're dealing with at 9 and 8, So now addressing those issues, using the arts to do it, basically dealing with the social emotional restorative practices and teaching them the art of acting using improvisation, um, maybe some script reading, but basically it's improv, asking them what do they need, how did it hurt you, what do you need, how are we dealing with these things. And this is what our our school systems are asking for, um, with what they need and what they're asking for in the school systems in terms of what the requirements are. So
Mhm.
trying to incorporate all those things so that we're meeting what the school needs, touching the children, and incorporating the arts at the same time, because we don't have that stuff anymore. We used to
Mhm.
be in a place when I was in school, we had drama, we had music, we had dance, we had um music where you were using musical instruments. We don't have none of that stuff no more. Nothing. You
Okay.
gotta kind of like develop a program to bring it when it was already in school. You didn't have a program, it was a part of the curriculum. Now you got to develop a curriculum in order, and it has to be approved and accepted to go into the school systems so the children can have access to it.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, with like where you guys at in Chicago, and with me knowing a lot about Chicago when it comes to the music, because I used to hear my father always talk about, the sound of Motown, the sound of Philly, the sound of Philadelphia, the sound of Chicago, and I remember him having the 45 record, what they call a component set, and
I had
I
45s.
yeah, right. So I remember
I
him
have to show
playing
my age, y'all.
playing
For
this
me.
playing this fella that was one of the smoothest singers I ever heard in my life. This fella by the name of Donny Hathaway.
Oh
And
Mm-hmm.
yes.
and I remember him saying that's the sound of Chicago, and I remember him talking about Selena Johnson daddy, which was one of the baddest jazz
Hmm.
musicians ever. That's the
Hmm.
sound of Chicago. You know what I mean? So I just think, and then just to know that back in those times, Donny Hathaway still had that sound, and he got a full ride to Howard University for music. You know what I
Wow.
mean? For music, you know what I mean? And so I just really think that through the music and arts, we can change the narrative and set these things in place. I feel like we need more drama coaches, more music teachers, and I feel like those need to be state issues jobs. They're they're they need to be in the school system, because that changes mentality, that changes emotions, and that changes the physical language of a child.
Yes.
Because everything can be healed through music and arts, and that's what I believe.
I would agree with you because I use this, what I do, I use it as therapy for my own self. After losing
That part.
what 2.5 years ago, acting and anything that I do in the arts has been therapy for me. It helps me because my mom was one of my biggest supporters. So anything that I do, I go hard for her. So I'm gonna do it in excellence, like she's sitting right there, and I know she is in spirit. So it's therapy and it's fun. I love it. I have a passion for it. And I want to be able to give that back to these children and so they can be expressive. They can express themselves in the art and turn to that instead of doing something else that won't be so positive later. If you understand what I mean.
I do. Like I tell people, I can remember when even the churches had a lot of youth programs. You know what I mean? And that's how the youth become. Learn how to be business people
Mm-hmm.
on doing church business and on the Christian youth retreat or church business conference and stuff like that. And so I just I just think that we just need to open that gateway back up again, and
Yes.
so and another thing is when you first started acting, right? When you first started acting, did it come did it come natural with the body language, with the facial expressions, or was it something that you had to own?
I was told that I was a natural, but I took classes, I invested in myself, and I would tell anybody, even if you're told that, even if you believe that, invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just think because you ain't got it. You ain't all that in a bag of chips. Always invest in yourself. Always be that person that is teachable. When you get to the point where you're not teachable, then can't nobody do nothing with you. Because part of acting is listening. Because the director might want something different from what you're giving. You got to be able to listen to see what they want in order to be able to deliver what they want. So I would say take classes. Do what you need to do to perfect your craft.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, yeah, some people are naturals, but you still need training. You still need training. You still need coaching because you ain't all that. You
That's
just
Well,
right. That's right.
I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to cut you off because I know my brother. This joke would get deep, and he could go with another 2 hours with us. You know what I'm saying? But we all on a time constraint and whatever. And I told him this earlier. I said, man, I already know this podcast. We're going to have to do a part two because it's going to get too deep, and then we're going to have to cut off. And then I said, but that's just the nature of what we in. We all know how they go. But I do want to ask these couple of questions to everybody before we go. First, I'm gonna start with Michael. Dream role that you want to see yourself in.
Um, a role I would love to do is actually a couple of them. I would love to play either Kingpin or Rhino in the Marvel universe.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, I can see you in both. Actually, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
Kingpin, I seen Kingpin article. When you said that cigar, I could see you with your striped suit on, with your black, with your hat, sitting in the boss chair. Tell them, hey, you better not come back without having that. I can tell you, I can see you in that role or whatever, being that Kingpin and scaring everybody in the room. Like, if you don't have my money in 24 hours, don't come have me looking for you now. You know
Most
what I mean?
definitely.
You know what's gonna happen. And Maurice, what's your dream movie role that you want every celebrity in the building, every film company across the world to come see when you at that debut? What's that dream that dream movie?
All of them.
You
All
said,
of them. All of them. I want every one to be a hit.
oh, okay.
I
But
want
I'm just
every one
saying,
to be a hit.
what type of movie though? What's the movie that you have that you put together that you like? Okay, this that one,
It-
not
it's
that one.
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say that one.
Mhm.
That is hard, but uh, it'll have to be if I say that one, I want it to be the one that everybody gets the message.
Mm.
I want it to be the one that's gonna change lives. I want it to be the one that's gonna motivate and push people, you know.
Okay.
And I also wanted to say, uh, Mike, it's a producer on here, and you was talking about the roles you wanted, so be careful. Okay.
and doctor, what's your dream scenario situation? Because you're such a boss. I don't even want to say movie or model, and you just tell me which one out of these many hats you wear. What's
Oh
your dream
God.
thing?
Actually, my dream, I'm typecast all the time as somebody crazy. Excuse, I can curse, right?
Yeah, not too tough, but go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Somebody crazy ass auntie or somebody mama. I'm
I can see
always
that.
Mhm.
I'm always typecast as that, but I like Mike, would love to be a queen pen. That's
y'all
my
get together.
Or a madam.
See, y'all need to be a queen pen and king pen where y'all like in a series or a movie where y'all going at each other. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could
That's
be.
right.
But
Yeah.
I would love, I'm actually writing my own queen pen type of thing. But I would love to be a queen pen playing against Angela Bassett. That's my fave.
Ooh, okay. You talking about the GOAT.
Yeah.
That's one of the GOATs right there. But
anyway,
I want to thank y'all for coming on.
Before you say that, man, I got a confession to make all of you.
What's that?
Check this out. Maurice, Dr. Shan, Icon, Mikey. I really think that they should use my voice instead of James Earl Jones' voice in The Lion King. Yeah. Listen, bro. Listen.
Oh man.
Listen, bro. I was told, like, somebody asked me to recite the line, you know, when James Earl Jones was talking to Simba, and they was like, "Wow, you sound so much like him." So I think they should be using, like, if they make the Lion King 4 or 5, like, I'm definitely going, you know.
Jacob, I got you.
I might get a bigger camera because we ain't been fit his head and his camera too much longer.
I know that's right. Look, Jacob, I got you. He been telling me about this voice for a minute. I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bigger camera angle because there ain't gonna be no room left. But anyway, I want to thank Jarvis. You know, I see what you was posting, Jarvis, and I commend you on the bullying
Jarvis.
And the bullying and working with the kids. So I appreciate you chiming in and you giving us feedback or whatever. And basically, man, just tell everybody. I don't know if y'all got it set in stone when y'all gonna start with the podcast. If y'all want to give everybody the information real quick, if not, then you know.
So the podcast is supposed to start this Tuesday. We're going to post it and make sure you guys get it so you can post it. We haven't came up with the time and everything, but yes, WCES podcast, Windy City Entertainment Scoop. And we're going to be dealing with the entertainment industry, all aspects, all areas, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. So, yeah, we're excited about that.
Yes.
Salute.
Yeah, and I know it's gonna be awesome because there's three up and coming great people that gonna be GOATs and gonna be memorable. Y'all gonna have to get another mountain just for the three of y'all. Like they have the Mount Everest, Mount Rushmore. They're gonna have to put y'all on it. Y'all gonna have to be somewhere up there with them.
Well, I just want to say one thing. It's actually 5 of us with this podcast. Our brother Eric Mays, owner of Amazing Productions, and then we also have our brother Kareem Ali.
Okay, that's what's up. More the merrier. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I've been excited all day about having y'all on. I'm excited about meeting the other 2 people and watching y'all just do y'all thing. And I appreciate y'all time from coming on tonight. To bless our presence with y'all. Bless us with y'all presence. And we see each other at the top. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say.
Let's get it.
So everybody have a blessed and great night. You know what I'm saying? And talk to y'all soon.
Peace, love, and blessing.
Got the good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup. In the session